Timelords and Terror by Hephaestus, Chapter 2.
Come on, said the large occult. She said she'd totally be there. All you need is the horse apples to go in the forest.
I don't know, Terry Swirl. You sure she'll be there? I mean, the Everfree Force is not what I call romantic locale, said the younger cult. Terry Swirl rolled his eyes. Orange Pioche had always been a stick in the mud.
See, saying nerdy stuff like that, just keeping all the fillies away. She said she had a sister, and nothing impresses the fillies like a brave stallion. Nothing says brave stallion like venturing through Everfree.
Orange Pioche stared and scratched the dirt nervously. The sun had gone down, and the Everfree Forest was no place for ponies even in the day. I don't know. She really has a sister?
Terry Swirl chuckled. Yep. If she's anything like the filly I met. So, what's it gonna be? Trot through the old forest or run back to Mommy?
The two colts trudged through the thick underbrush. There was something unnatural about the Everfree Forest. Legend had it that ponies were created to govern the world. Ponies kept the environment stable and the air clean, kept the animals fed, and the plants pollinated. The Everfree Forest was not like the rest of Equestria. Things just happened. Plants grew, animals killed and ate other animals, clouds formed and rain fell. It was utterly alien. The two broke through a branch of bramble bushes. Orange Pioche's hoof canting on a thick root. The colts fell on top of each other, and a brief scuffle ensued.
Why don't you watch where you're going, Scaramane? Lay out to sleep, Apple Acres. You nearly crushed me to death.
Oh, boys. Gentle colts. Please don't fight, said a sultry, seductive voice. The two colts see a beautiful young mare. Her deep sapphire coat contrasted with her flowing magenta mane, and such a way seemed to glow in the dark. Two almost glowing rose-red eyes set against a perfectly structured face. The two colts scrambled to their feet, both staring nervously. Oh, no need to be nervous. Two handsome young stallions such as yourself.
Terry Swirl puffed out his chest and pushed forward. Hey, Sapphire. You say you need me to bring some friends? I can only bring him, though. His Orange Pioche. He's a good colt. Never kissed a mare, though.
Her red eyes seemed to flash an alarming crimson before returning to a soothing rose tint. Oh, really? Fresh meat always tastes best. Excuse me, darling. The long-legged mare pushed past the dumbstruck rust colt and made her way to the stiff-kneed Orange Pioche. A coquettish smile on her face. Come now, don't be scared. This won't hurt a bit. Orange Pioche squeaked what could have been a response before being led away by the beautiful female. Sapphire looked over her shoulder and shot somewhat angry shores. Rika, Draggle, he's all yours. Sure thing, Sapphire! Two other fillies said in unison. A long, thin-legged mare appeared on Sarsorel's right, while its rocker with an extremely built mare was on his left. Terry Swirl's jaw dropped.
Two sisters? Wow. Hey, fillies, how's it going?
Better now that you're here, said the well-built one with a smile too wide for her face. Yeah, we're so hungry, said the thin one. Terry Swirl smiled and nodded before saying,
Hey, wait, what?
Sapphire led the young colts into a secluded area lit by midnight, signaling for him to sit by the street stump. You just wait there. I'll have to go freshen up. Be right back. Orange Pioche said something that could have been a scream, but was too short and too quiet to register in his brain's suds.
He
sighed in exasperation and put his head between his hooves. Stomped his hoof to the ground. No, this isn't right. He got up and walked around the tree stump. Miss Sapphire, I'm afraid Oh, horse apples. The beautiful mare was surrounded by a darkly glowing red-black maze, her eyes burning in pins of crimson light. Her open mouth suddenly filled with sharp, spade-shaped teeth, and she spoke in a deep, affirming voice. I thought I told you to wait. Oh, well. Her sharp muzzle began to extend outwards from her face, blowing at the top until her muzzle and forehead bled together, sharpening into a tip at the beak. As her face changed and morphed, so did her body, coat falling away from jaundiced yellow-brown skin, hind legs fusing and running together like a tallow, with forefeet extending and broadening, splintering into tips into 5 long claw-tipped digits. The creature rose above him, red-black haze convalescing and forming a tattered robe. Orange Pioche screamed and bolted towards the opening. He and Terry Swirl entered. Terry Swirl! Oh, Celestia, help me! Terry Swirl sees a butt! Oh no. Two more creatures like Sapphire were holding what used to be Terry Swirl aloft. The shriveled great bite hung in the air. Swirls of opaque orange air as they swirling out of his eyes and mouth into the gaping tooth-filled maws of the monsters. He saw one of the points of the crimson light that was their eyes turned his way. The sadder the two creatures let loose a billowing laugh and threw their dried husk in his direction. Terry Swirl's pale, contorted body hit the tree directly above Orange Pioche's head, making a hard, paper-like rustling rather than a thud as copious amounts of light gray dust settled on Pioche's head and shoulders. Husk landed in front of him, while the dimpling Grosslin, sunken in blackened eyes, turned towards Orange Pioche. The mouth moved up and down, creaking like an RC door hinge as it did so. Help me! Orange Pioche screamed before an enormous clawed hand swatted him from behind. He flew 4 meters into the opening, skidded off the ground before bouncing off a partially embedded rock. Dazed, he looked up. 3 enormous black figures closed in over top of him, 3 pairs of blindingly bright crimson eyes. They were laughing. The doctor opened his eyes. His head throbbed horribly, and a foul taste coated the inside of his mouth. He was in a small hospital bed. Comfy white cotton sheets over a small mattress perched on the sentimental legs. The smell of alcohol and antiseptics were almost sweet and pleasant compared to the chemical stench that seemed to be coming from within him. Ugh, waking up in a strange hospital. No idea where or when I am, with a taste of embalming fluid on my tongue. Must be Wednesday, he thought circuitously to himself. He rolled about in bed, becoming more aware his body wasn't moving in the way it should. Do I have some cast on? Maybe that bit with the TARDIS was in a dream. Not all of it, anyway. He didn't notice the feeling of plastic against his face. The face didn't feel right as either, and a cold, telltale flavor of compressed oxygen breathed against his lips. What is going? He thought as he lifted his hands to his face and removed the mask. Hooves. The doctor stared at his hooves, dumbfounded. What? He thrust about, eeling by, bending and kicking in ways unfamiliar to him. He tore the covers open from his body, revealing a small, compact equine form. A tattoo on an hourglass etched on his flank. What? The sound of conversation from down the hall shocked him out of his bed, sending him tumbling over the side. As he fumbled about on the cold linoleum floor, he heard a clip-clopping of hooves and several female voices. Is that all the commotion I've heard true, Miss Sparkle? A blue box fell from the sky and he stepped out, said the eldest-sounding one. Well, Rainbow Dash grabbed him off the box before it hit the ground, but yeah, it's true, said another vaguely familiar voice. Yeah. Blithering idiot even thanked me. He started rambling on about Q neutrons and turrets, said a very familiar voice. The sound which made his throat throb. Where is he? The doctor managed to get his front legs over the top of the gurney and pulled himself up. A loud rustle of flapping wings greeting him. He looked into the face of a sky-blue Pegasus with a nearly stratified rainbow mane that descended from yellow and red on top of her head to green and violet down her neck. Her long, strong, rose-colored eyes conveying a clear expression of irritation and distress. Across the room stood a soft lavender-colored unicorn with blue and purple-pink streaked mane. Next to her was an older, ivory horse wearing doctor scrubs. What? Twilight and Dr. Crossstitch raced over to the dumbfounded earth pony. He rose to his feet and took a few wobbly, uncertain steps before plumping himself against the gurney, his bagged, wild blue eyes frantically switching from her to Dr. Stitch to Rainbow Dash. Sir, Twilight said slowly, taking a careful step forward, you've been in an accident. We need you to calm down and sit still. He locked his eyes on her. An almost electric chill shot down her spine. His eyes were not the eyes of a pony, but the tired, experienced eyes of a being many centuries, perhaps many millennia old. Only 2 other creatures in all Equestria had eyes like that. He took a few more steps, a little steadier this time, sat himself down in front of the gurney, propping his back up against it. Dr. Stitch stepped forward and said, Sir, you've recently been subject to an insignificant smoke inhalation. I'm going to put the stethoscope to your chest and want you to take 2 deep breaths, if that's all right. He smacked his lips and tried to say something before contemplating and nodding. She deftly put the stethoscope and pressed the disc against his hair. Ah! He exclaimed, causing all 3 to recoil. Sorry, it's cold. Dr. Stitz listened for a second or two, swallowing Decepticon from side to side, before a look of confounded horror spread across her features. By Celestia's mane! Twilight gasped and cursed at herself. She couldn't believe that she had forgotten. All right, I think he has some kind of heart condition, because I remember his heart sounding a bit strange when he first collapsed. The middle-aged medical pony shook her head and looked at Twilight. The stallion has too. Rainbow Dash swooped down, casting a curious eye over the brown puff pony. What? He has 2 heart conditions? No, said Dr. Stitz. He has 2 hearts. Twilight's jaw dropped as she walked over to the mysterious stallion. He what? Yeah. The stallion said casual as he could be, though this was a common subject of conversation. Well, no, actually, yes. I have 2 hearts, but no, I'm not a stallion. Rainbow Dash sat down on the floor with a loud clump! What do you mean you're not a stallion? You sure still look like one. And nonchalantly rose to his hoofs, still quite pale with bags around his eyes, but his voice as strong as ever. No, stallions look like Time Lords. We were here for... Oh no, wait, that's humans. Actually, what am I, a horse? Pony, Twilight said on impulse. What? You're a pony. Earth pony to be specific, she said, again on impulse. Okay, I'm a pony then. Why am I a pony? He continued his pace. Did I reach out right? I must have. No, I still feel like me. Do I? He ran over to the chrome white V-pole, looking at his reflection with shiny metal. Missy Hell, cheek. Light steel, check. Eyes, blue. Shame. I liked my brown ones. Devilish good looks. Maybe. It'll take me a while to figure out pony aesthetic, but I'll just go ahead and say check. Anyway, tick. What are you talking about? Twilight demanded, beginning to feel as irritated as Rainbow Dash. Regeneration, he said absently, like this would be obvious, still looking at his reflection. Time Lord biological process by which life energy is channeled through every cell upon the moment of death, effectively replacing the dead cells with new living cells, causing not death. Other cells is also a process, but I never heard of regeneration ending in pony. Dr. Sis stomped her hoof. That's impossible. Nothing on Equestria can instantaneously regenerate all its cells. Good thing I'm not from Equestria then. Otherwise I'd be dead 10 times over by now. Oh, I guess I better make that 11, he said, looking all distraught before saying, Wait! Aha! Yes! I'll know what I've said this scene once and for all. He then turned to the 3 mares, the same radiant, jubilant grin on his face. Alonzi! He laughed at the happy little buck. Ha ha ha! Still to me, serves on everything. Well, always sells the trick. Twilight shook her head and stepped forward. So, you're not a pony. You just look like one? Good question. I'll answer, Doctor, he said, looking at Dr. Stitz. Twilight and Rainbow Dash turned to Dr. Stitz, who blinked before saying, well, I never heard of a pony having 2 hearts before. The beat is too strong and regular to be a genetic mutation. Best I could come up with is natural. For him, anyway. Twilight sighed and turned to the stallion, was looking quite pleased with himself. Okay, we'll go with this whole non-pony thing until we know more. Then he turned back to Dr. Stitz. Is he safe to move? Dr. Stitz nodded. We got him on the oxygen quick. If there had been anything poisonous in that smoke, we would have seen symptoms hours ago. He should be safe. Just a little nauseous and fatigue. Twilight nodded and turned to Rainbow Dash, and the mysterious stallion. Alright then, let's go. Dr. Stitz crossed her hoof against the linoleum floor. Miss Sparkle, I'm afraid a message says he be kept overnight for observation and experimentation. If he truly is what he says he is, the boons in the medical field could be invaluable. Twilight bit her lip and put on a strong face. I'm afraid this is out of your jurisdiction, Doctor. As Ponyfield's his physical liaison son to Princess Celestia, I'm declaring this a matter of importance to Carolot Magical Research and Development Center. The stallion in a box of significant importance to the security of Equestria. The old maid stared Sky coldly. You have no such authority. You're just a student on a field trip. Twilight trotted right up close to the older pony, noses almost touching and eyes locked with her. Prize student, do you really want to risk it? As liaison to this world's physical goddess, I can make life very unpleasant for you. Dr. Stitz blinked and slunk away. Yes, of course he can leave. Make sure he gets plenty of fluids and bed rest. You're a good doctor, Mrs. Stitz. Twilight said, trying hard to keep the satisfaction out of her voice, as he walked towards the dumbstruck Earth Stallion in Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash, Mr. Blue Box, still asleep, shall we? The 3 ponies exited the hospital and began walking down Ponyfield's main street. It was bustling with early morning market carts and curious ponies looking to buy. The 3 walked down the middle of the street, the mysterious stallion looking a little worse for wear, Otherwise happy. Apparently enthralled with the hustle and bustle of a pony market. Twilight! Rainbow Dash exclaimed, hose up to her face. That was so awesome! I can make life very unpleasant for you. Ha! You sold her who's boss! Twilight blushed. She had been in a mood to wait another day to figure out what had just happened. Just thinking about it made her head spin. First a storm that never was, then 3 shooting stars that changed direction mid-fall, and then one of them turning out to be a little blue box with a pony, but not a pony, hanging out the side. She turned to ask Mr. Blue Box what was going on, only to see him galloping off towards an apple cart. Behind the apple cart was Applejack. Standing next to it was a ecstatic Pinkie Pie, waving and signaling to them. Twilight and Rainbow Dash took off the stallion. Mr. Blue Box! Mr. Blue Box! I'm glad to see you in a wink! Pinkie Pie exclaimed. I'm guessing the game we played was fun. Mr. Blue Box smiled, sweat running down his pale brow. Yes, it was, wasn't it? I'd have to pick up where we left off after I take care of something. Applejack smiled and leaned forward. Pinkie Pie! Ain't you going to introduce me to your hates new friend? Pinkie Pie danced over and put a hoof on his back. This is my new friend, Mr. Blue Box. He fell out of the sky in a brand blue box, and that's why we call him Mr. Blue Box. Blue Box, Applejack, Applejack, Blue Box. Applejack really passed off this bizarre introduction as something Pinkie Pie related. Reached out a hoof. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Blue Box. I'm Applejack. Friends call me H.A. He took her hoof in his hand and saw her weak smile. The pleasure's all mine. Slay, Applejack said, a tinge of worry in her voice. You don't look so good, Sir Cube. He smiled weakly. Yeah, my body oxidated all the toxins I inhaled and deposited them in my stomach for evacuation. I would appreciate something to eat, if you don't mind. Preferably something with wheat product in it. Applejack smiled broadly and produced a rectangular brown lump of sugar-glazed fried dough. Apple Clan's famous fried fritters. Good for what else, ya? Stanley smiled and nodded, taking the fur and eating one bite. Applejack was taken aback and laughed. Well there now, don't want to choke yourself. Why don't you chew a bit and savor the rich apple cinnamon flavor? Stanley turned away from him and pointed noisily, killing Applejack's words in her throat. Stanley shook his head and smiled. A healthy color returned to his face and a relieved smile. Oh, that feels so much better. Thank you, Miss Applejack. Applejack blinked. Guess the fur didn't agree with you, huh? Well, let me give you that idea, the stallion said without a hint of sarcasm. Behind him, the tar-black substance he had just evacuated suddenly burst into flame with a moody poof. He chuckled nervously and began to kick dirt onto it. I needed a medium through which to evacuate the poisons deposited in my stomach. If I just evacuated normally, I would have ended up with poison in my mouth and throat. That throat was just what I needed. Careful though, that blob, very flammable. It started again, Applejack said bluntly. Stallion turned around to down with a combusting goo. Twilight and Rainbow Dash galloped to the stand. Applejack smiled and turned to him. Hiya, Mares, Applejack said loudly before getting close and whispering. Who's the weirdo? Twilight sighed and shook her head. I wish I knew. He just sort of fell out of the sky yesterday. Like a little blue box, Applejack credulously. Yeah, Rainbow Dash said. How'd you know? Applejack adjusted over to Pink Pony, trying to help Mr. Blue Box put out the fire. First with dirt, then with a bucket of water. Pinky's going on about a magical stallion who fell out of the sky in a little blue box. Thought she was just playing Pinkie Pie until this pony showed up and puked fire! Twilight rolled her eyes. I wish he was just being Pinky. It would make a lot more sense. Pinky and Blue Box approached the talking mares, a look of triumph on their faces. Well, I pulled it out, he said, pointing to a large boulder and a smile of wet dirt. Blue Box stood the air, trotted over to Sweet Applejack's cart. Who, I'm starving. Could I trouble you for a snack, Miss Applejack? She couldn't help but smile at the lively face and said, You bet, Mr. Cube. There's no any star animal fast. Eating well keeps you healthy, like Granny Smith says. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Nonsense. I love apples, he said before something in his mouth. For? Twilight stomped the ground, tried over the Blue Box. Okay, that's it. This has gone on long enough. He's going to tell us what's going on, and you're going to tell us now! Looked up at her, apple between his teeth, and almost pencil look on his face. Call it eat first. Twilight's heart glowed. The apple was ripped from his mouth and thrown over the horizon. No! Wait, how did you... he said before thrusting in her eyes. What? What do you want to know? Well, first off, what's your name? He smiled. It's all it. My name's the Doctor. The Doctor? Twilight repeated. Doctor who? He raised a hoof. Up. No who, no what, no where, no when, no why, no how. This the Doctor. Pinkie Pie bounced up next to him. The Doctor? That's a really weird name. I'm a really weird guy, he said pithily. Twilight sighed and raised a hoof. Back on topic. Okay, Doctor. 1. Where are you from? 2. What's that thing you were flying around in? 3. Where are those other shooting stars, if anything? Doctor raised a hoof to his chin and said, Oh, what's it then? 1. I'm from the planet Gallifrey, in the constellation Casaveros. 2. The thing you called is my TARDIS. It's my spaceship and time machine. 3. He threw out the last words. He turned his head around towards the source of a noise. It was growing increasingly louder. The rapid clatter of hoofbeats drew their attention. A young orange colt with matted, dark red mane was galloping full speed towards them. Eyes wide in terror, glistening with exhausted sweat. As he got closer, the exhausted pony recognized his fellow townsfolk and began to strut. He regained his legs, gave out, and tumbled face first into the dirt, skidding and rolling along before coming to a stop a few meters away from them. Twilight gasped and ran towards the fallen colt, his body covered in scratches, the worst of bits being where his right upper flank had been flayed open. His right front ankle had been badly sprained, a wound exacerbated by running full speed with it. Oh no! What happened to you? Single terrified eyes slowly settled on Twilight. His foam-filled mouth sounded a few inaudible words. Only once could be made out. What's this? What? Not, said the doctor, hanging over Twilight's shoulder. What's the answer to question number 3? 2 medical ponies carried the young pony away on a stretcher to the emergency room. As Twilight and her friends prepared to follow them, she noticed the doctor galloping away into the other direction. Wait! Twilight said. Where do you think you're going? The doctor spun around, face suddenly very serious. Look, Miss Midday, or whatever it is. I have a hunch that whatever that colt saw came through the same portal I did. And that's the case, we're dealing with some of the most dangerous life forms in the universe. Now, if I don't get my ship working, I'm not sure what I could do to stop them. So, you'll either wait and do nothing while the doctors help to fall, or you can help me save every single life on this silly little horsey planet. Twilight blinked. Those unfathomably old eyes were telling her this was a situation of the utmost seriousness. Despite his quick tongue and warm smiles, this doctor was not a pony to be trifled with. Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Piggy Pie, come on! I think the doctor will need our help before this is through. The mares nodded and took after the 2. Twilight, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, and Applejack followed the doctor to his TARDIS. It was deep blue, constructed from what appeared to be wood. Approximately a quarter of the box was embedded into the ground, despite having crashed with what was obviously a great deal of force. Wind panels showed no signs of damage. The paint wasn't so much as chipped. As they approached, they could see that despite the large crowd of curious ponies that had gathered around it the night before, no one crossed the tape line. Now, said the doctor as he ducked under the cape, let's have a look-see. He paced around his TARDIS, scratching and sniffing at various parts of his hooves, all the while mumbling himself, see neutral energy. That probably means... He turned to Twilight and said, I need a laser rope, about 6 meters, and a strong pony to hold on to it. Twilight blinked in confusion. What? Why? He tapped aside facing the TARDIS, causing the door to swing inwards, releasing an immeasurable amount of gray smoke. He shot up into the air a swarthy column. The doctor turned to her, a smile on his face. Because I'm going in! Twilight struggled to articulate in ways that couldn't make sense. The mouse was so small. Why did he need a rope? Let alone a 6-meter rope. Where was all that smoke coming from? How did a stallion in a little blue box crash into Ponyville? She sighed. At this point, asking questions only raised further questions. Fractional nonsense. Applejack, rope. Applejack nodded and produced her lasso rope. Why did she have it with her? Twilight didn't care. Applejack made her way over to the doctor with rope in mouth, gazing up at an enormous pillar of smoke billowing out from the TARDIS. Say, Doctor, what's the plan? He took one end of the rope and wrapped it around his midsection, somehow tying a knot into as well. Now, my dear Applejack, it appears the TARDIS' automated repair circuit was damaged in the attack. I'm going in there, activate the manual repair sequence. All you have to do is hold on. It's a hell of a long dropper now. Applejack blinked. The box looked weird wide. Thinking all that smoke had to come from somewhere. You called me, Doc! The doctor backed to the TARDIS and the folks began to bit. I never could. And it's Doctor, not Doc. Well, you're asleep, Professor. Applejack said through a mouthful of rope. The doctor's ears perked up. He looked at her with a radiant smile on his face. Oh, I think I'm going to like you, Miss Applejack. Off we go! And on Z! With that, the stallion disappeared, the rope passing through Applejack's teeth at a controlled but steady rate. Twilight watched as the rope kept threading and threading. So it bombed out long ago. He's just pulling it in, that's all! Hold it! Came a voice from inside, possibly sounding like someone talking from another room. Here we go!
Steady, Miss Applejack. Keep a good grip on that whip. No problem, I will, Professor.
Applejack said through gritted teeth. Her powerful workhorse muscles more than capable of supporting the city stallion. Twilight caught closer, listening carefully. It sounds like it came from when the TARDIS had a distance and echo to them that was impossible to fake. Could it be?
I got it!
The doctor shouted. There was a curious whirling sound, building and building, unearthly and bizarre. It made her heckle stand on end. At the same time, the most beautiful thing she heard. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Twilight looked up as the light of the TARDIS began to glow and flash. A soft creaking noise, and it began to lift out of the ground, floating. Slowly levitated over their heads. That wonderful sound hitting a low and soothing stride. Absec let go of the rope and followed her friends as they tried to its landing place. In between the flower shop and Rose's house, the sound continued, picking up in pits and paces as the TARDIS became encapsulated in a brilliant golden haze. The previous smoldering hole in the right panel now emitting blinding strands of golden light. As the sound began to wear down, so did the crater begin to shrink, the golden light shining from growing smaller and smaller. There was no evidence that there had been any damage at all. Not even the scoring remained. The doors of the TARDIS swung open. There, standing triumphantly backlit by a brilliant golden light, was the Doctor. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. Whip, all fixed, and he in his pocket an enormous jacket draped across his back, producing a small silver object with a blue jewel on the end. I got my sonic screwdriver! Pinkie Pie leapt in the air. Woohoo! What's a sonic screwdriver? The doctor began to close the doors to the TARDIS when Twilight ran up to him. Hey, don't we get to see inside it? Don't we have a friend in the emergency room? The doctor retorted, his face sounding very serious. I'd like to talk to him. As they entered the hospital, they could already see a small crowd of distraught ponies gathered around the emergency room. Dr. Stitz emerged from the room, bullet board hanging around her neck. She walked over to a mare and stallion who could only have been the colt's parents. Briefly exchanged and the mare began to cry. The stallion looked angry, impulsively stamping his foot against the linoleum floor. Dr. Stitz! Shouted Twilight Sparkle. Is he all right? Dr. Stitz uttered a few reassuring words. He went to the colt's distraught parents before moving towards Twilight. Miss Sparkle, expect green chai and red pura to stop by and thank you. Twilight smiled and shrugged. I'm just the first person Orange Pioki ran into. Anyway, do you know what happened to him? Dr. Stitz shrugged. Numerous cuts and bruises. A significant proximal laceration to the right flank. One severely sprained ankle, mild concussion, severe stress trauma. Whatever he saw out there, it scared him half to death before beating him to a pulp. Dr. Stitz tapped her head. And he is in a bad way, up here. Keeps repeating, still alive, over and over. Nothing we could do about that. Twilight felt her heart go out for him and his friend Cherry Squirrel. They were at that age and sometimes awkwardly around fillies. Both had seemed like nice colts, though. Even their hormones got away with them sometimes. There was a commotion down the hall. Some ponies were shouting in outrage. Hey, what's that pony's name? What name is he doing to that poor colt? Dr. Twilight bolted down the hall, followed by Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash. Twilight doing through the glass. Oh no, Doctor, what are you doing what are you doing? The doctor was kneeling next to the unconscious colt, off on the side of his head, touching foreheads together. His father, Red Purr, stepped into the room. Such a big, burly stallion. Several times the doctor's size. He was furious. Hey, what are you doing to my son, you damn weirdo? Twilight and her friends rushed into the room, between the angry stallion and their strange friend. Wait, Twilight said. He's just trying to help, I think. You think? Red Purr bellowed. I'm going to Paris Mike's wing about what you think. Monsters, the colt muttered. Doctor mouthing the word and using with them. Big, scary, looked pretty. Eating. No, sorry, squirrel. Dusty, looks dead. Still alive. No. Wants to help you. Scared. All around me. They're big. Eyes like red suns. Laughing. Screaming. She's here. So pretty. So stripy. She hurts them. They yell. She hits me with a... It's Russ. Running. Everywhere. Running. Find home. Am home. Still alive. Want help. Scared. Doctor broke away. Strange look in his eyes. You got carried like to your woods. No one's going to go into the FFE force until they've been dealt with. He got up and cast a gaze at the bewildered Purra. Your son was very brave. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The hulking stallion gently pushed Twilight and her friends. He knelt at his son's bed, tears welling up in his eyes. The doctor stormed out of the emergency room. Twilight and her friends follow soon after, unless they hear the helpless sobs of a distraught parent. They follow the doctor out of the hospital and spun around. Twilight, Rainbow Mouse, Applesack, Pinkie Pie. All four straightened out their statues as their names were called. The doctor's voice was different, deeper and almost frightening in its evenness. It was rage, but it took Twilight a moment to understand this was a different kind of rage than any other. The kind of righteous, cold-burning fury that could only be mustered by being so old, witnessing the suffering of a being so young. Willis's voice was beyond anger, beyond anything she could or even could imagine. The doctor continued, "The carrier likes to up something, and I plan to stop it. Not so I could do it alone, but that cult in there, he's only the beginning. Every second those monsters exist, every instant they plot, is another foe waiting to die screaming. They'll spread across this world like a plague, and there'll be a millennium of blood and agony if they all not stop. Will you help me?" Pinkie stopped her hoof. "Enemies of laughter are enemies of mine!" Applejack snoring in disgust. "I'll help you, Professor. Those carrying ice will roll to die." Rainbow Dash shot in the air. "Just show me where they are. If you're lucky, it just might leave some for the rest of you." Twilight eyes slapped Doctor. The terrified voice of Colt broke in her mind. "This is war."